Hello everyone, my name is Xinru. Welcome to my channel. Guess what day is this Friday? Well, bingo! It's the St. Patrick's Day in Ireland. So this week, I am gonna talk about an Irish movie for the movie review. The movie is called The Quiet Girl. This movie is nominated as the one of the Oscar-winning movie, and I do think it will deserve it. Now let me discuss to you about why. Firstly, let me briefly summarize the plot of the movie. It is about an Irish girl in the countryside. She's greatly neglected by the people around her. At home, her parents have a lot of kids. She has about 4 or 5 siblings at home, so her mom is too busy to share attention to every of her kids, and her dad is absent. And at school, she has no friends, and she's neglected by her teacher and classmates. So she felt very lonely, and her personality is very introvert. So because no one understands her, sometimes she also acting very weirdly sometimes. And because her mom will give birth to a baby boy in the summer, and the family made a decision to send her to a relative's house for the summer. And in the beginning, when she's being sent to the relative's house, the aunt is very welcoming to her, and she pampered her by doing showers for her, getting her new clothes, etc., and being very lenient to her. Like she's already at school age, so even she peed on the bed, she's not being punished. Well, for the uncle in the beginning, he's a bit careless, but after a while, after they become closer, the uncle becomes nice to her as well. So in general, by spending her time in the relative's house, she had a very great time in the summer. And by spending time there, like she felt a sense of warmness, a sense of belonging to the home, and she felt a sense of homeness in general. But the summer passed so fast that she has to go back to her home, and she felt very bad on the way when the uncle drove her back home. And after they parked their car and dropped her back at home, when they are about to drive away, she ran very fast to them, and the uncle very tightly hugged her. While she was hugging the uncle, her dad came out as well, and she called daddy, and we're not sure which daddy she's referring to. For me personally, I love this movie so much, and I do think it will deserve to be nominated as an Oscar movie for several reasons. Firstly, the plot is very thought evoking, that it make me think about a lot of things. Like for the first thing is that when you're trying to give birth to babies, one thing which is very important is that you have to make sure that you do have enough time and efforts to raise the kids, to give them enough food and enough emotional support. If you cannot make sure, then just don't give birth to the kids. So in general, I think in this film, the parents, both the mom and the dad, they are very irresponsible. Like although they can not make sure to give adequate food and love to all the kids, they still keep on giving birth to kids. This is one point. Another point, I think it also somewhat reveals gender discrimination. Like before the mom giving birth to the baby boy, all the siblings she has are girls, so they are all sisters, no matter older sister or younger sister. And finally, in the summer, their mom's gonna give birth to a boy. So in this case, I was thinking maybe it's because of gender discrimination that the family is trying very hard to get a boy, and they don't want girls. So yeah, in general, it can be thought evoking. Also, the movie is the film is very exquisite. There's a lot of exquisite shots. Like for instance, when the girl in the beginning she got dropped at the uncle and aunt's place, she was very shy, and there is a shot of her like very awkwardly standing in the corner, looking down and playing her finger like this. So I don't think that it highlights the details to make the human psychology to appear to be more vivid. And there's also like other exquisite shots, not just for human psychology, also for the view of the Irish countryside, which is very beautiful. And another point I do think the film is well deserved is that it's not the mainstream ones that like the Marvel movie, the Hollywood movie, but it's a less mainstream ones, but it conveys the culture. Like for me, the way I define culture is everything to do with a community or a group of people in their daily life. So in this case, like in Ireland, like the clothes they wear, the language they speak, and the environment they live in, they are all cultures. So in this case, this movie is filmed in Irish. The language wise, it conveys culture, and for the views, like it's in the countryside of Ireland, the view is typical Irish view, so it also conveys Irish culture. And for the big family in the countryside, it is also something typical Irish in the last century. So I do think it well portrayed Irish culture, and I do think the culture, every culture, is good culture, and every culture is well deserved to be promoted. It is also one of the reasons I highly recommend this movie. And as for what flaws does the movie have, unfortunately, personally, I cannot think of anything on top of my head. But a friend of mine, she was commenting that the pace of the movie is a bit too slow. Maybe like if you're a big fan of the fast or intense Hollywood movies, yeah, maybe the pace of this movie can be a bit too slow for you. But for me, I don't think so, because only the pace of the movie can be relatively slower, then the shots can be more exquisite, like the different countryside views, the human psychology can be well portrayed. So yeah, in general, that's it for my comment of this movie. Thank you very much for watching, and if you have any different opinions, feel free to comment. See you in a bit. Bye.